Almost good afternoon, so still good morning. Just being on time, what? I try to be on time.
What did you ready?
I'm ready.
Coming out of New Orleans, what did you see from the guys, and kind of what was your way of handling the situation and moving forward and making sure they were locked in?
Yeah, and we've talked about the New Orleans thing before, but listen, the New Orleans deal was, I think for us as a team, it just it wasn't us, number one. It wasn't how we expect to play or expect to finish a football game in that game, and then so we've kind of put ourselves in a position where each game from then on really matters, and just focusing in each week. And the guys have done a great job during the week of practice, preparing themselves and understanding the game plan. And I think what you're seeing too is, we had a lot of young guys. We had some injuries in that game, and a lot of young guys play in that game. And what you're seeing now is those young guys getting a little more confident each week, every time they're out there on the field defensively. And then the offense kind of catching a little bit of rhythm right now, and it's been a good last couple of weeks against two quality division opponents.
With everything that's kind of gone on offensively, to see what you guys have done the last 2 weeks, I mean, I know you've probably said it before that it was just a matter of time with all the injuries to start the season, Carson and Alshon, but like, is this what you're seeing now? Like, is that kind of like the offense that you expected, and did it take longer than you thought?
Well, you'd like for it to start earlier, but I think you're seeing flashes of it. I think the flashes are a little more consistent now. It still wasn't perfect in the game yesterday. Still some mistakes that we need to clean up, and we had more opportunities to score, and we didn't do that. So those are things we need to focus in on just a little bit. But I think what you're seeing now is the offense kind of coming together, rhythm. Obviously, it starts up front. I think the offensive line is playing at a high level right now, and we kind of ride them. The running game has been consistent. We've gotten consistent play from Josh, obviously, and Corey, and then Mixon Sproles in there yesterday. So I think it's a little bit longer than expected, obviously, but as they say, you should be playing your best football down the stretch, and hopefully this is the spark that kind of gets us going.
What's the plan with Jason Peters yesterday? What's the plan with Jernigan right now?
Jernigan is, he's doing okay. He's doing fine. He's still going to be in the mix. Obviously, would expect him to be available this week, and we'll see tomorrow when we get back on the field.
What happened with Jason Peters yesterday?
What happened?
Yeah.
He got rolled up on it. He's going to be okay. He's going to be day to day, but he should be fine. Should be fine.
Something that you have mentioned and your players have mentioned for a long time so far this season has been to get that fast start. Finally, you guys were able to get that last night. How much not only does that open up the rest of the offense, but just gives your guys the confidence that you're able to do that?
It's a lot of confidence moving forward, and it was really good to see last night to come out and put that drive together to start the run and pass kind of ratio, and then eventually finish off with a score. And it's things that offensively have just kind of missed. We've missed on a couple of things, whether it's execution or it could be play designed by me or whatever the call. But just last night things kind of came together. I think the guys have really they've taken it upon themselves to, quite frankly, to kind of clean up a lot of things, and spend more time. I want to say spend more time, but just focusing on the details, on the little things. And when you do that, great things are going to happen. So it's a confidence builder moving forward that we're capable of doing that.
Is it maybe a coincidence that the running game has been clicking the last 2 weeks, and it just so happens you guys won the last 2 games and scored more than 25 points the last 2 games?
Oh. Well, I mean, I think it helps. You have to run the ball. You got to have that balance. We had it again last night. Last 2 weeks, as you mentioned, it's been positive, and it opens up a little bit more in the play action world, and getting the quarterback out on the perimeter, getting Carson on the edge, and where he's been good at seeing the field, and yeah, again, it goes back to the offensive line. How well are they controlling the line of scrimmage and starting there? And we started fast last night, and that's a positive in the big scheme of things.
What was the key to getting the screen game going yesterday?
I think just calling it and calling more of it, quite frankly. I felt like the screens the last couple of weeks have been big hitters for us. We had some opportunities again last night to have some big. We had some big gains on them, but we could have had even a couple more later in the game. So we just keep working. Again, part of that is coming off the run, coming off the play action pass, and utilizing some of the same formations. But yeah, it's a big part of what we're doing right now, and it's been working.
As a follow-up to that, it seems in the backfield you found a good balance between Corey and Josh Adams. How do you mix Darren Sproles in without disrupting them?
Well, I think as you saw last night, you get him a few touches throughout the game. And the thing is, going into that game, I didn't want to put Darren out there right away necessarily and give him a ton of reps. I just didn't. I felt like Josh was doing a good job, Corey was doing a good job, and then let's mix Darren in, where we can find him some work. And obviously, the run, the 14-yard run for the touchdown was one of his plays in the game, and it was well blocked, well executed, and it was really good for him to get in that game and kind of get banged around again, from the physical aspect of it, and then to finish off that drive in the end zone it's exciting for him and what he's kind of gone through this season.
Do you see him as more of a change of pace the rest of the way, or will he get more involved?
I mean, it's hard to say. Each week is it's like getting receivers involved. You got one ball and just trying to get them all touches. But Darren's going to be a big part of us and the success if as we move forward, and we'll keep probably increasing more of his production as we go.
Doug, where did you come down on the thought that Ertz is getting targeted too much, which apparently is felt at least partially in your locker room?
As long as we win the game, as long as we win the game. I mean, listen, he's a tremendous tight end, and he's doing some great things. And we know that he and Carson are on the same page right now. And I think one of the things too last night, the ball got spread around quite a bit, and which was exciting to see and good to see. And I think that's that balance, that mix, even in the run game, that you got to have, even in the passing game, is have that mix. And listen, Zach's he's playing at an extremely high level right now. So bottom line, and I know everybody in that locker room, bottom line is they want to win the game, and however it gets done, we get it done.
Doug, what have you learned from your young DBs these last couple of weeks and the way they've kind of handled what happened in New Orleans and gotten better?
Yeah, I think you're seeing a little more confidence in these guys. I think, I saw it in Rasul last night. Some of the plays he made, just not necessarily in the passing game, but in the run game, being able to come up and make some big plays. That play on that double pass, that reverse was tremendous by him. And and that's the thing that's what confidence can bring. And it's just giving those guys an opportunity and being in a position and just trusting the scheme, understanding the defense, being in a position, and not doing any more than that. You don't have to go looking for plays. Plays are going to come your way when they do make them, and that's what you're starting to see with these young guys.
The entire offensive line seemed to play well last night, but a lot of your success seemed to be based on Jason Kelce's ability to block downfield. What advantage does his speed and power give you downfield?
Anytime that a defense wants to uncover the center with either two techniques or three techniques or whatever it is, or it allows for Jason to use his strength. One of his strengths is his speed and quickness and agility down the field, and even on that touchdown to Darren, I mean, you see him get out in space and get up on the linebacker and run his man basically down to the 5, and then he ended up taking another guy out. So, I mean, this guy, and then even on the interception, his hustle down the field to be a part of that tackle. I mean, this guy, you talk about an unselfish player. He does a lot of things well, and again, he's another one that just wants to win. But his ability to get in space is pretty incredible.
What went into the decision to keep the day off this week, even though it's a short week? And how far do you think that goes with your players? How much do they appreciate the rest in this situation?
Well, as it was last week, a long week, and you had a little extra time to rest and heal up. This is a much shorter week for us. So, today, giving them today, obviously, typically would bring them in, but you just can't do that. You got to give them a day off and then give them tomorrow morning. Give them as much time as they can, to get in here, get treatment, get added rest, recover, so we can put in another good work week. But they appreciate. I know they appreciate that because they tell me about that stuff. That they appreciate the time.
You mentioned the offensive flashes coming more consistently, but you're still not quite everything you want to be offensively. Can you go through that sequence down at the goal line that ended with the 4th and 1? There were several plays there that just didn't do much.
Well, we didn't score. I mean, that's the downside. We didn't score. We had an opportunity. We had several, drives that kind of stalled down there. But trying to go through it again. I know we ran the ball a couple of times. The last one was just a failure to communicate up front, and we just missed a block on the perimeter. Not saying it would have got us in the end zone, but it would have given us a better opportunity down there. I look back at it and maybe could have put Carson on the move. You can speculate the whole thing, but it was part of our game plan to have that play in. We just failed to execute on that last play, but something we'll fix, and given another opportunity, we'll be better the next time.
You mentioned that the offense was able to have so many guys involved last night. I'm curious, how much of that is the play calling, and how much of that is just?
That's all play calling. It's all play calling. No. Quite frankly, it's kind of a product of the offense. When things are clicking, as they were last night, everybody gets involved, and your quarterback has confidence in the game plan. He loves the game plan, and he just continues to execute. And as quarterbacks, our jobs basically is to put the ball in our playmakers' hands, and we did that last night, and that was a positive thing. And then guys were able to. I think on 1st and 2nd down was the key, and then we created, some 3rd down opportunities where, it's 7-13, but really 7-12 if you take the last one out where we knelt, at the end of the game. So guys did a great job on 3rd down, but yeah, the more guys you get involved, I think it's puts a little more pressure on the defense.
Jalen, Avante, and Jordan, any chance those guys are back for Sunday?
Jordan Hicks is still. He's getting close. He's going to be more day-to-day. We'll see as the week goes with him. I don't want to, put anything on him right now. Jalen Mills is probably a little bit further away. And Avante Maddox, again, he's close. He's going to be day-to-day this week as well.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, guys.